Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Kickback presents the All Memphis Postgame show. It is your boy Jamal, along with me, as always, is the homie Mace. Mace, what's going on, man?
Hey, a good night, man. Two big wins. Teams are rolling right now. That's all you can ask for. And I think even the hustle got a win. We toss that in there for good measure.
What?
So big night for Memphis hoops.
The hustle got a dub. Yeah, it has been a big night for Memphis hoops. I think the Tigers beat. I don't even know what the final score was. What was the final score?
73-52.
73-52. The Tigers beat USF, and the Grizzlies beat the Wizards 125-111. So, like we said, good night of NBA and collegiate basketball for the city of Memphis, and two games, if I am being honest, each team should have won. You know, I was looking at some projections earlier today, and I saw a lot of people picking the Wizards to win, and I guess the Wizards to beat the Grizzlies, and I guess they were doing that because the Wizards played the Celtics tough the other night. But it's like, all things considered, this Grizzlies team is better than the Wizards team outside of Bradley Beal and Russell Westbrook. Like, they're better.
Yeah, I mean, the Wizards have been playing a little bit better, but you look at that roster, and I mean, they got a guy I've legit never heard of starting. Like, I've heard of him now because he's been starting for a while, but the Garrison Matthews guy, like, I know I don't watch a lot of college basketball outside the Tigers, but legit never heard of that dude until he was on my TV one day just playing for the Wizards.
Well, I think Pete and Brevin mentioned that he went to Lipscomb.
Oh, did he?
Or
from my freaking backyard. You know how many basketball camps I went to at Lipscomb?
He's
back when it was David Lipscomb.
He's from Franklin. I think he's from Franklin, Tennessee.
What?
Yeah. He went played it. So look him up real quick.
Garrison Dave Matthews. Let's see. Where is he from? He definitely from Franklin. Born in October, so we're both OVO. Went to Franklin High School, and they used to whip our ass. But he's 7 years younger than me, so thankfully he didn't have a part in any of the whoopings I was handing.
any of the ass kicks. Let's start with the Grizzlies first. This game, both games were kind of a blowout. The Grizzlies got up real big in the second half of their team against the Wizards. The Wizards kind of came back to make it close a little bit at the end, but I don't think it was ever I don't ever think you ever thought the Grizzlies were going to lose. My worry was, over underscoring a lot of points and things, but they got off to a slow start. Russell Westbrook was being Russell Westbrook. He finished with 15 assists, and he had like 6 of them in the first quarter. Attacking the rim, being Russ. A concerning trend, although it kind of righted itself in the second half, is Jonas picking up early fouls. He picked up 2 quick fouls in the first quarter, and he had to sit. Thankfully, the depth of the team kind of allows for that. Doesn't really hurt you that much. But it's not a good thing this is the second game in a row. Jonas has been basically taken out of the game because of fouls. He still ended up with 16 rebounds or something like that. But it throws the rhythm off of that first group if Jonas isn't out there.
Yeah, and it's another game which you expect him to dominate, really, because it's
right.
Who's he going against? Mo Wagner and Robin Lopez maybe off the bench, or Davis Bertans playing the 5. So a couple games in a row, but to the larger picture, like, we've been blowing teams out, so it hasn't mattered. And if you're going to get stinkers from him, then you'll take them in the games when you don't really need them.
Right.
Like, our last 3 wins, we beat the Clippers by 28, we beat the Rockets by 49, and then we just beat the Wizards by, it only ended up being 14, but it was a 20-point game for the most part. So that's 3 decisive wins against teams the Rockets suck now, But and the Wizards have been rough, so maybe I hyped those up. But still, 3 big wins headed into the break, and you're a game over 500. And so back to JV though, he was a -7, and the only other starter with a negative plus minus was Desmond Bane, who was a -9. And I guess we should mention that Kyle sat out. He was sitting out. What was wrong with him? Injury?
They just said he had an illness. He was sick.
Oh, okay.
I don't really trust it. They think they probably just gave him some rest.
Yeah. So Brandon Clark got the start alongside Valanciunas, and then Dillon, Bane, and Morant. But what did you see anything from Bane in his first run? It doesn't look like he did a whole lot.
He didn't do much. He made shots. He was 4 for 7, but he was kind of not just being out there a little bit. Brevin and Pete had talked about how he kind of seamlessly moved into the starting lineup and how he looks comfortable out there. I think he might have made one of those threes in the first quarter. His only 3 in the first quarter. I think so. But he was just kind of being out there. I think he got picked on a little bit by what guard was it?
Beal or Westbrook, probably.
It might have been Beal. Yeah, got him in the post. But, he's a big dude, but rarely Beal's a veteran. So, he was kind of getting him a little bit. But, Tyus came off the bench and didn't play that well. 1 for 7. I think they even mentioned that he played the second least minutes, 15 minutes. But Ja had it going. And Ja had it going a lot Ja's first play was a turnover. He tried to get it to Jonas, and it was a turnover. But other than that, Ja played a pretty good game, man.
So was he in attack mode from early on? I don't even think we mentioned he had 35 and 10. So one of his biggest nights of the season in Washington, where he also had his first ever triple-double.
Yep.
So he likes playing there, it seems. And was he just in attack mode from the get-go? I know he said in his postgame that he had a couple of turnovers early on, and he finished with 4, so not great. But if he had a few of those early on, you like to see him, picking it up later on. So how did he get it going?
He did. His usual drives to the rim, like he's a master with that left hand. Couple.
Is that his signature move? Like, he doesn't really have a signature move. He's not hitting you with a step back or anything. Is that left-handed scoop, whatever his sig?
I believe it is. I believe because
it's the only candidate.
It's amazing. It's amazing that he does it because he doesn't bring that right hand to it. Like, boom. It's either that or one of the dunks. Let's see. We got some call-ins here. Oh, that's why Campbell ain't been talking to us. He in the DR.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
International watching the show.
Did he take McDermott with him? We ain't seen him.
Yes, he did. He had to go hide the body. We do need the same energy. I was just actually looking at the Vegas over/under odds at the beginning of the year, and that number was 30. And right now we're at 16 wins. We beat the Bucks. We'll be at 17. Worst case scenario, like you said, we'll be at 500, 16 and 16. Can we squeak out 14 wins, 15 wins again in the second half of the season with Jaren coming back? How Jaren will look, what the rotation will look like.
So that's 14 wins in 40 games.
Yeah.
Like, I think this team has proven that they are average enough, at least, to win 14 out of 40.
Yeah, they can probably look up into 14 dubs. Justice picked up a couple of fouls early too, but he came back and played. To be honest, I didn't really watch much of the second quarter, so I didn't really see them pull away. But I'm assuming here's what we do. Let's go to play-by-play. Let's go to the second quarter.
Man, Justice, the 3 games he's played have been the 3 blowouts. So maybe Campbell's right. Maybe he is the MVP.
Right. Let's see here. At one point, the score was 39-40. They were up. Then they were up 42-39. And then we just kind of started going off on them. Ja Morant makes some free throws. I guess one of the big thing is Ja did get 14 free throws. He went to 11-14 from the free throw line, which is big. Shows how he was attacking. Made 2 threes, 1 in the fourth quarter. Brandon Clark with a layup. Ja with
And
a layup.
it looked like to me that Ja was getting calls that were iffy and calls that he usually doesn't get.
Mhm.
So I don't know if his recent technical spree has anything to do with that. I really don't think so, but maybe they reviewed some tape and saw that they were missing calls, and he got a favorable whistle tonight, which is kind of surprising going against Westbrook and Bill. But Westbrook's no fan favorite from the officials, I imagine, either. So, but 14 free throws, I feel like that's a season high.
I'm sure it is.
Because I think his previous high was 10. I feel like Devin and Verno were talking about that and said it was 10. So 14. Shit, you take that.
Take that, man. And he looked. I think somebody had said he looked happier playing, which he did. I can't let a Grizzlies game go by without mentioning Dillon Brooks. Dillon went 8 of 19 for 20 points tonight. Same old Dillon in the first quarter, man. Like, dude just plays with plays like his hair's on fire in the first 6 minutes, just running around.
Well, something else is probably on fire.
Grabbing, like, golly, man. I don't know what the hell be going on. I don't know what he be doing before the game, but he needs to chill out, man. It was good to see. I think, like I said, DeAnthony Melton did his thing, come out the bench.
Bro, 6 threes. He was 6 of 10 from downtown. So career high makes and takes from downtown. And look, this dude is playing great. Like, it's going to be hard to keep him off the floor out of the starting lineup because he does it on both ends. He's active. 2 more steals tonight. I think he had 4 last night. Just been a menace. And I know I think he'll probably stay on the bench because of how him and Tyus feed off of each other. And just Bane provides that spacing. I think Jenkins is going to stay with that spacing. I think Jenkins is going to stay with one of Grayson or Bane in the starting lineup just because of the spacing it provides. But if Melton's hitting 6 of 10, ain't much better spacing than that.
No, yeah, you're right. And I was about to say, like, that's part of. I was reading a Chris Harrington article today, and he was mentioning that logjam of Bane, Grayson, and Melton about like what's separating each from playing and getting the minutes, and it's the 3-point shooting and the consistent 3-point shooting and how they all can shoot the 3 well, but it's like Bane and Grayson are more consistent than DeAnthony, but DeAnthony does more on the court and is better at other things on the court than Grayson and Bane, Grain or Basin, if you will.
Grain, man.
So like it's going to be, like I said, I think that's something that we just have to keep a lookout for the rest of the season. I do believe, like you said, there are going to be those designated rest days. But like, what was it? It was last week where DeAnthony Melton was out of the rotation.
Yeah.
And then he come back in the rotation. His next 3 games have been crazy. His last 3 games have been crazy. So that's one thing about being a professional. It's one thing about being a professional basketball player. You got to be ready when your number's called, and you got to be able to perform when you can, so you can continue to show them that you need to be a part of this rotation. And Grayson better come back with his act right, because if he ain't making shots, he ain't no good to you. Because DeAnthony can give you these type of games more often than not. Not maybe giving you 6 threes, but he can still get you like 16 to 20 points with the steals and the rebounds.
Melton is shooting 39% on the season from downtown. So, Grayson and Bane are not much better than that, if Bane still is. I'm not even sure that they are above that clip right now. But Melton also gives you like all defensive team caliber defense on that end, and just has so much more upside. It's not like he's old. I think he's 22, 23. And just like the rest of these guys, he might be younger than Bane, honestly. Bane played 4 years of college. They're probably right around the same age. So I think the sky is the limit for Melton. Like, just what we've seen, I'm trying to prepare myself for him not to get in the starting lineup. But I think the talent is there. I think he might be the 2 guard of the future, honestly.
Yeah, man, like you try not to think too far ahead, excuse me, in what this lineup can look like, the starting lineup, and what the rotations can look like. And we talk about it almost every show because every game, a different player shows you a glimpse of something. It's like, okay, well, if he can continue on that, if we bring him back for this lineup, it'll be fine. And so we look at what the starters could be, and you go with a Ja, Dylan, Justice, Kyle, and Jonas, right? That's without Jaren. But then when Jaren comes back, you go, what do you do? Do you take Justice off the bench because he's so used to coming off the bench, and you keep Kyle in the start lineup? So you got a Ja, Dylan, Kyle, Jaren, Jonas. That's a lot of J's. Good Lord. And then bringing Justice off the bench, since he's been coming off the bench already, and he's kind of comfortable doing that. It's interesting, man. This is what they paid Taylor Jenkins and his staff the big money for, because they got to make some of these decisions. And if you put a solid roster together, you want your coach to have to make these tough decisions.
Yeah, and I need some time to think about how I would do it. My gut says that Justice should be starting, since he is considered to be part of the long-term future, and Kyle probably might not be. I don't know. It's hard to know what they're thinking, how the contracts match up, and just what their plans are, if they do want to make one of those trades with some of these assets for someone else to be in the starting lineup, a Bradley Beal, Zach LaVine, who knows. So we'll see. We'll see what they do. After the All-Star break, I expect them to come out with the starting lineup they're going to roll with for the rest of the season, whether it's Milton, whether it's Grayson. But I mean, when Jaren Jackson Jr. comes back, he's in that thing for sure. I was watching. If you have the time, go to the Twitter account, Clutch Like Mac 11, and they compiled all of Jaren Jackson Jr.'s scores from his last game when we played the Trailblazers. Dude, he was serving Nurkic. He was serving smaller people trying to guard him. Spin move, dunk, left-handed. He dunked on Nurkic like 3 times with the left hand. Shooting threes from Steph Curry range. And if he comes back in the same shape that Justice Winslow came back in, which we assume he will, because it seems to be a Grizzlies thing. The only player that they've rushed back from injury is Ja Morant earlier this year when he twisted his ankle, and that's just because you can't really survive without Ja, without your starting point guard. So when Jaren Jackson Jr. comes back, we are going to be a problem. We've been a 500 team without him and Justice for the most part. Sure, we get caught some breaks in the schedule with no KD and stars sitting out here and there, but this team is full of guys that compete, and you add Jaren and Justice to it, two guys with that type of upside. Second half of the season, I was all doom and gloom a week ago. I'm all in, baby. I'm all in.
I look at that starting lineup like a group of friends. Like you got the big dude and Jonas, who nobody fucks with, right? So you know what I'm saying? Like if the starting 5, or what we presume to be the starting 5, in Dylan, let's say Dylan, Justice, Jaren, and Jonas. Yeah. If they just like at the club or at the mall or something, right? You got Jonas, the big dude nobody fuck with, and so they ain't really gonna fuck with y'all because Jonas with you. Then you got Jaren, kind of big and goofy. Somebody think they can take him. Man, something happened. I got him. He can't do nothing with me. But then you got a wild card in Dylan. Because he crazy, man. Because he be out here like he the dude that's in the club just looking out like, yeah, he always like this. He ready for something to pop off. When like we in the lounge, man, we got hookah. Ain't nobody trying to do nothing. Ja is Ja. He the young cat being cool with everybody. And then Justice is just another big dude, just like, yeah, man, I'm looking out for him. But you got Dylan, who always looking at everybody up and down, like, yo, we good over here? Yeah. I just came up with that out the top of my head. I thought that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and when something does go down, Dylan he's sleazing on some girls, but he flies across the club and he throws the first punch,
Right. Dylan is the one he's the one that's spending the money. Because every group of girls, he trying to buy them some shots. Hey,
I think Justice would be his wingman. I think he'd wingman with him.
Hey, what y'all drinking? Don't worry about it. It's on me. We gonna go over here, and then as soon as he sees somebody gets in like Ja or Jaren's face, he just comes across with a bottle. Like, bro, what you doing? What you doing? Chill out, man. So yeah, I think that I wasn't doom and gloom. trying to keep it even keel this whole season. It's kind of hard when you see them doing this. I can't say we expect them to be 500 going into the All-Star break.
Nope.
So this is good. To piggyback off what you said, I think we said it in an earlier show. I believe Jaren is ready now. They're just waiting to have the All-Star break. Same thing they did with Justice. Justice was ready 2 weeks before he started to play because he came in after getting his sea legs on him. He's looked amazing. No ill effects. So I'm assuming, and you haven't heard much about anything. You haven't heard much about him ramping up. You haven't heard much about it. I think he's ready to go. They just give him a little more time, and then when this All-Star break happens, they got a week that they can all practice. They got a week full of practice, and then if not the first game, maybe the second game. Maybe we see him 10 minutes the first game or something like that. Kind of like they did Justice, kind of ease him in, give him a little minutes restriction. But I believe, I have no inside information on this, I believe that Justice is ready, and we'll see him right after the All-Star break. Yeah,
and just one more thing on the game tonight. So Killian Tilly minutes. I think he got in the first quarter, 12 minutes, minus 14. So things didn't go great, but so I guess he's the new McDermott. No Gorgie, no Conchar. So he was the 10th man. It's a nice rotation. Did you see anything from him when he was in?
I didn't even know he played until you said it.
I just heard Pete say that he had checked in the first half. So we'll keep an eye on that. And then we'll keep an eye on Grizzlies Twitter, who will be keeping an eye on, I'm sure, Grizzlies Instagram over the All-Star break to see if the guys are in town practicing together or if they're vacationing. They need some time to rest their legs. But other than that, we can be in the gym,
What is so we play on Thursday.
Yeah, and then we got a break, and then we got the Wizards again.
Play on Thursday, then we got a week break. Let's see. We got 6 days. We got a 6-day break. So we play on Thursday. We play on this Thursday, then we don't play again until next Wednesday, and they have to be in market by Monday. So they can do testing and stuff.
Yeah.
So first things first. That game on Thursday is probably over at 10:30. They are out of here. They are on planes. Right. They're not even waiting until Friday morning to leave. They are leaving right after the game, going to the Bahamas or to Miami or wherever else they want to go.
Do you think? I mean, it's such a quick turnaround. Like if they got to be back Monday, then you only get Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. That's not even a long weekend. And Friday, you're tired because you've been playing all these games. So man, I don't know, man. I think we'll see a lot of them stick around and just rest and recover.
I hope so, but I hope so just because I know they need it.
I mean, I would be on the beach, but
I just think me, Jamal would be in Bora Bora somewhere.
So I ain't gonna fault nobody, but I'm just saying, hopefully they stick around.
even if it's only for 2 days, I'm going. I can rest on that Monday and Tuesday when I get back. But yeah, so let's go ahead and hit our superlatives if we can. Well, what superlatives we can do? Who you got for player of the game?
Got to go with Ja. He had the controversy surrounding his mom and Brevin Knight and them going back and forth, and we won't get into that. But he bounced back with 35 and 10 and a blowout win. I think that's his first game against Russ too. So, or no, we might have played him in the bubble once. But Ja Morant, who you got?
I want to go with Ja Morant too. Actually, to be different, I'll go with DeAnthony Melton.
Okay. Did you have a bum of the game?
Bum of the game. You know who my bum of the game is? I'm going to give it to Robin Lopez, but I can't because he had 14 points. It was perfect. I was just going to do it because he played at Stanford, and I didn't beat him when he was at Stanford. When I was at Arizona, we never beat Stanford when the Twins were there. I don't think we beat Westbrook when he was at UCLA either. Not Justice Winslow's outfit. Somebody's outfit. I don't know. I don't really have a bum in the game.
All right. Well, I'm going to give mine to the Bill and Westbrook combo. They had 14 turnovers. That's all I got to say. They had 14 turnovers, and Bradley Beal was a minus 25.
Yeah, I think they said we held him to 10 points under his season average, which is amazing because he's been scoring on everybody.
8 to 18. Like, that's not great.
And that's not great. Like he usually doesn't put up Westbrook numbers. Like 8 of 16 is good for Westbrook. Like shooting 50% is good for Westbrook. Yeah. He's usually just like 3 of 19 or 3 of 24 or something like that.
All right, bro. He don't deserve these drive-bys right now. You got to play the game or not?
Nah, I don't.
I don't either. Did you win any money on the game?
I won a few dollars. I did my, did my stats-based bet.
Did that one hit?
No. Come on now.
So for one, the over?
Over. Actually, I think I hit it on I did a alternate one and made the score higher, which doesn't make any much sense. But I did that and it hit that. I was seeing people talk about like the Wizards that they were going to destroy the Grizzlies in this game. I was like, no, I didn't get it. Let me go through this real quick. If FanDuel will let me enter. So the stats-based bet was John Morant to score over 15, he did. To have over 6 assists, he did. Jonas to have over 10 rebounds, he did. Dylan to have over 13 points, he did. I had Jonas getting over 15 points because there was nobody. There's no big, but he got to that foul trouble, so he ended up with 11. So there you go. Missed that one. Desmond Bain over 8 points. Got that. I had Bradley Beal over 28 points because he averaged 33, whatever, but he only had 23. I had Westbrook under 29. He had 23. I had Rui Hachimura to get over 4 rebounds. He's gotten like 5 or 6 rebounds the last 7 games, and he only got 2 tonight. And those were all in the first quarter. I remember watching them.
Well, he's still rolling over in his grave from Yuta Watanabe getting dunked on by Anthony Edwards.
Yeah, his country, man. And then I had Westbrook getting over 8 rebounds. I think he ended up with 6. So, reasonable bets, but that's how I go. All right.
How I go.
So yeah, I won a little bit, but not enough. Let's hop on over to them Tigers.
Yeah, and thankfully not a whole lot to analyze or talk about. Once again, Memphis was outside of Memphis in Tampa this time, playing South Florida, another senior night. No Alex Lomax, and it was a slow start, ugly start. But one thing we know about these Tigers is the defense is going to be there. The shots may not be falling, but they're going to come in and D up. And then that's what they did. South Florida had 52 points. Lester Quinones was in their best player shorts all night. Got him so frustrated, he gave him a hip check. Everybody's favorite wrestling move from WWE video games back in the day. And dude, Lester, he had David Collins so frustrated the whole game. This dude's senior night. He got his mama and sister and them in the crowd, and he can't score. He can't do nothing. He finally got a bucket on him late, but I thought it was just a good win from the Tigers. Yes, it could have been better, but it gives them something to work on the rest of the week before this Houston game.
Right. The most important thing, like I said, the last 3 games for the Tigers was to just win the game. Just win the game, win by 1, win by 100. Don't really care how you win. Just win the game. That's how you're going to get to where you want to be. Boogie, I can't say enough about Boogie. Boogie is this team's Dylan Brooks. He gets going in the first half. He gets a lot of his shots in the first half. Like he scored 12 of his 16 points tonight? 18. I think he scored 12 of his 18 points in the first half. Yep. And so he's the engine that gets them going, which it should have been that way the whole season. Kind of even from the St. Mary's game where he came off the bench and hit all his points. It should have been that way the whole season for them. It was good to see.
Do you think with Alo being out, there's no like fear in the back of his mind of like I'm about to get yanked, so I'm just gonna do me because I'm the best lead guard we have right now, and like Penny has no other choice?
I can imagine that plays a part of it. I mean, it would as interesting as the Alo and Penny dynamic is, because sometimes Alo is much harder on. I mean, Penny is much harder on Alo than he is on any other player. It still must be make you feel some type of way knowing that that guy is behind you, or you're playing behind that guy when he's coach's son, basically. You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
And to be fair, I think all of these guys have been given plenty of leash to show what they're capable of. And,
Yeah.
the shots are falling for Boogie now. The confidence definitely seems to be there. He's shooting shots that he wouldn't have even thought about shooting, like 5 games ago, just catching it with a guy right in his face and he's going up from in the corner. And it's good to see if this team is going to make a run and going to be Houston and then go through the AAC tournament on its way to the NCAA tournament. Boogie's got to be there. And you need him scoring, 15 points a night, really.
Right. You're going to need I mean, the test is this, right? The test is Sunday against Houston. That's your season.
Plenty of time to rest.
That is your season. You win, you continue, you lose, you're probably done. Maybe not for real, like maybe not all the way done, but you're mostly done, because you guess you can, if you beat Houston again. If you lose to Houston on Sunday, but you end up beating Wichita and Houston in the conference tournament, obviously you get the automatic bid, but you never help with that anyway. But it's going to be interesting to see, because this is going to be the first team that they played in about a month that matches up with them talent-wise. Every other team they played didn't have nearly the amount of talent that the Tigers have, so they were going to win those games regardless. Which makes me so frustrated that the Cincinnati game was so close, because it shouldn't have been that close. You were 15 points better than the Cincinnati team, the same way that you were already 15 points better than the South Florida team. So the most important thing, win. No bad habits. I mean, 19 turnovers, that's fine. You expect that from them. And 19 turnovers against a blowout, you were throwing the ball away. Whatever, defense did what they did, which per usual. Kind of concerned. Landers didn't look too interested out there. He was just kind of floating. Didn't even know he was part of the game. So maybe he's just saving all of his energy for Sunday too.
Well, he got some big buckets when South Florida kind of made a little run there with 8 minutes to go or something. Landers kind of put a stop to that. But DJ Jeffries, I do want to mention, he had 8 of his 9 points in the first half, and it looked to be turning the corner, and then really quiet second half. But he did give you 4 assists and 4 rebounds, but 5 turnovers. He led the team in that category. So just the DJ Jeffries roller coaster continues. Like I want to believe, and I do believe in him. I think it's just a matter of like one good game and something clicking, and just much like we saw with Boogie. Like Boogie is a different player than he was 4 or 5 games ago, even. So I think there's still time for DJ to get it going. I know a lot of people are kind of off that wagon, but I thought we had something in the first half. Nick
King 2.0. That's just what it is. Shout out to Jordan Nesbitt for scoring. I think this is his first collegiate points. I actually I hate that they don't have the minute distribution on this box score, because although Damian Ball only shot the ball 3 times, he just plays with a lot of poise. I think Damian's a good meter on this team, right?
He led the team with 28 minutes, him and Lester.
He played 28 minutes.
Yeah.
So like he's just a good thermometer to see how this team is at. He tries to keep them even. You really don't, in the 2 years that they've been playing, you don't really see Damian get too out of control, get too high or too low. One thing that really makes me mad, and I said it last game, I'm gonna say it again, like DeAndre Williams is so demonstrative for the wrong. Like, bro, you don't need to be flexing against South Florida, dog. You don't need to be yelling and one and doing gang sign handshakes during South Florida. Like, bro, you're supposed to beat this team by 100. This is This is this come in, handle our business, so we get the bench on there, and I don't have to do shit for the rest of the game. That's what this team is. But they missing their top 2 players. Lester completely took the 3rd player out the game. Like, you go over here flexing and come on, man. Just play like I'm all for you talking shit when you gotta talk shit, but you don't need to talk shit to this team. Like this team had nothing for you to do now against Houston. I don't want to see you acting meek against Houston because these last 3 games against South Florida, Cincinnati, and whatever other team y'all beat by 100 points the other day, you was out here yelling and flexing. You gotta see the same shit.
All right, I hear you on we need to see the same stuff in Houston, but besides that, let the kids play, Jamal. Come on, man. You got some hard candy in your mouth.
Like I told my mother when she tells me that I talk too bad about the Tigers. That boy ain't no kid. He is 24 years old. That is a grown ass man.
All right, fair point. But that grown ass man did hit 2 or 3 threes. Had 13 points and 10 rebounds, second straight double-double. I hear your points, but he's in college. Let the kid play, man. He played harder than anyone on that court again tonight, him and Lester.
Every game, you will never, ever, ever hear me question his effort or heart because he plays so hard all the time. And he is the motor of the team. And he's like the compass. Damn, that's what I was looking for. That's what I was looking for with Damian. He's the compass. He's the emotional compass of their team. When they see him going, they get going, which is fine. I just want to see, like, it's not your fault that you playing these bum ass teams to get ready for the biggest game of your collegiate career because you know he ain't playing no big. Like, he's never played a game this big like he gonna play on Sunday. Not at Evansville, and not earlier this season. So show improved time. You can kind of count on Landers. Landers playing the ACC. He kind of knows what this is going to be about a little bit. So we'll see. Lester, I think Lester played well tonight. What was he? 5 for 7, 6 for 7, 5 for 7.
5 for 7. I think he hit 1 3 late when he started playing the guitar for David Collins.
Yeah.
Rebounding again, 7 boards, 12 total points. And he plays that power forward position. Like, it feels like he guards bigger guys than Williams and them at times. Like, he's just down there in the mud and thick of things fighting. I still want to see him getting about 5 threes a game, but I'm not going to complain too much about a 21-point victory.
Give a shout out to Jaden Hardaway too. He's out there playing. He had a good drive and dish to Musa. Musa got fouled on.
Yeah, he had a couple good drives. If he could have hit some free throws.
Oh my God!
I think he split both times he went to the line, but he got hacked. He's got to work on them going up strong because he doesn't even get the shots up. But I do think him, Malcolm, and Alo, since they get this year back for COVID if they want it, next year I think they're going to be really good. But then as 5th-year seniors, imagine this team with those guys leading the way as, DeAndre Williams age kids.
Like, ain't y'all tired of playing basketball?
Don't you? I think those 3 guys could stick around. Those are the East guys that came up with Penny. I don't see them going to the league. Why not?
So is the rule that everybody can get this year back, or just
everybody gets this year back? Yep. I
read an article, and I don't know if it's a true article. I didn't do my research, so don't take my word for this. That there was a high school athletic department that said that high school seniors can come back since they didn't play this year. Like, what? Who wants to stay in high school another year? Like, bro, I'm gone. Forget this.
Hey, didn't Ridgeway have like a 20-something-year-old dude a couple of years ago playing?
He was like 27 playing, and didn't even start. He was coming off the bench.
Hey, he was getting JUCO looks. Don't behave, man. Trying to live out his dream.
Ridgeway has had their fair share of problems over there in that basketball team. But no, man, it's interesting. I was thinking about this, and I don't think it's going to work out this way, but the way the season is broke for the Tigers is so interesting. Like, you get your ups and your downs, but with the news coming today that the state of Texas is easing all restrictions and not having a mask mandate, does that mean that the Houston arena is going to be packed? Like if Houston chooses to sell tickets and have people come to the game, it's not against the law to do it. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like to do that anymore. So I wonder, will this be the first fully fan game that the Tigers go to when they're playing their biggest game of the year, the third road game in a row?
I mean, there's no chance they let that thing sell out or anything like that. Like, what are we doing here, people? Like, we've been anxious to get out of this before, and we saw how that went. So I can't imagine they would just open up the floodgates.
I can't either.
I mean, wouldn't that like just be the cherry on top of this season if we go down, beat Houston, but everybody in the arena catches COVID because it's in freaking Texas and we can't play in the conference tournament and like we don't get a bid?
Well, that's what they said. There was Danielle Lerner, I believe. I think she tweeted that Memphis is playing Houston in Houston on Sunday. The conference tournament is in Dallas, right?
Frisco.
In Frisco. And if they don't make the conference tournament, I think one of the NIT sub sites is in Dallas, is in Texas too, or something like that. So I actually wonder. I don't wonder it. I want to. They got to buy so they can come home. I was going to say I wonder if it just to minimize the reaction, would they stay in Houston? Like go from Houston to Frisco and just stay there the whole week getting ready for the conference tournament, or you go to Houston, come back to Memphis, stay in Memphis for a few days, and then go back down to Frisco. Like those are my director operations thoughts in my head when I look at stuff like this.
I'm probably staying in Texas in the hotel where I can keep the guys away from, any parties as much as you can. If you bring them back home, anything can happen. Like as careful. I mean, it can happen anywhere too. Especially in a place that's fully open. But I'm staying in Texas and getting gym space at a local high school, and we're, going over our game plan, and just it's basketball 24/7 for the most part.
Yeah, I think that's probably the way to do it. It ain't like they missing school; they on virtual school anyway.
Right.
It don't really matter. And it might be. Is it spring break yet?
Do they get spring? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know either. But yeah, man, it was a good. Like we said, all they got to do is win. Show up, win the game, and you're good. And that's what they did. It's going to be interesting to see. I know that there was a lot of talk about, some players transferring or, going early or whatnot. Be interesting to see if this stretch of games is something that's changed Boogie's mind. Because Boogie was one of them, from what I hear. Inside sources, but I think it's pretty known that he wasn't happy. I can tell you one thing though, man. And I was going to save this. I'm gonna save it for my bum of the game. Save my bum.
All right, well, who you got for player of the game?
Boogie. I'm gonna go with Boogie. Boogie Ellis, player of the game.
Gotta be Boogie.
My bum of the game, Musa Cisse.
Why, bro?
For one play, and I wish I could turn on my TV and show you the play. I had to rewind it 3 times. I showed it to Alex so she could understand the ineptitude of this play. Was it Lester? No, he only shot 2 3. Somebody shot a corner 3. Missed it. Musa got the rebound. 1 step away from the goal. He tries to go up to shoot a layup to put offensive rebound. He misses the entire rim. He throws it over. He throws it over the whole rim. All you had to do was just put your hand in the rim and dunk it, my dude. But no, this man get the offensive rebound. Nobody's around him. He just throws it over. That's my bum on the game, Musa Cisse.
Yeah, my boy's still working on the touch, but we are seeing him get better in other areas, thankfully. My bum of the game is David Collins, USF's leading scorer, and just got locked up all night by Lester Quinones. Should have got a flagrant foul when he did that hip check, but it is what it is. Lester got right back up and went right back at him. But yeah, David Collins, man, locked up, flopper. You hate to see it.
What did he do last game? He was the one that kept the minute last time, right?
Yeah, I believe so. And tonight he had 7 turnovers and 6 points, 2 and 9 from the field, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. in 34 minutes.
Oh, it was Murphy. It was Murphy.
That's the one who was killing us?
Yeah, Murphy was. I knew it was one of them dudes. He got in Lester got in Collins last time too.
And Murphy was in self-check tonight. We weren't even guarding him. That's the dude with the Driz. Yeah.
That was what blowing my mind. And that's why I thought it was Collins who beat us, because this Murphy dude, this first game against the Tigers, he was super aggressive. In this game, he was barely out there.
Yeah.
You can barely tell he was out there. Muy interesante. Play of the game, Musa missing that layup. I laughed a lot.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna be honest. I ain't got to play the game.
I don't think it's one. I mean, play the game is they won, and then I won some money tonight. I believe the over under was 130 something, so I bet on the under. And then I bet on the spread. The Tigers were favored by 9. So I bet on that.
Nice.
And they hit. So the Tigers won me some money while the Grizzlies lost me some money. But that's an everyday occurrence, ain't it?
Hey, at least you doubled up on the Tigers.
It was 135. I'm like, come on, man. So it was 125 was the final score. And that was, yeah. So,
yeah. Third-ranked defense travels to Houston on Sunday, and Houston has the 5th-ranked defense, but the difference is Houston has the 10th-ranked offense, and Memphis is down there in the 150s, 160s.
Can you imagine Kelvin Sampson in Houston in like the coach's room, and Kelvin Sampson's in the office, and he's like, we got to win this game to win the conference championship because we went to ECU and lost.
Yeah.
Like, all they had to do was beat ECU, which everybody has done, and they went up there and tricked it off. And now you got to fight for a decent seed and fight in your conference tournament and fight for a conference championship, which you should have had locked up.
Yeah, against the hottest team maybe in the conference. Memphis has won 9 of 10, 6 in a row. I think Wichita State had won another 5 in a row before they ran into cancellations and stuff. But I mean, Houston's like 20-3 on the season, so they've been hot all year. And when their offense gets going, they've got some shooters and they can fill it up really quickly. Marcus Sasser, Quentin Grimes, probably going to be the player of the year. So, but I mean, this is what you lace them up for. This is what you practice in the offseason for. You got one regular season finale to win your conference championship potentially. It's like I'm pumped, and it's only Tuesday.
Well, that's the thing, man. One game for it all. Like, this is what you come to play for. You come to play these games. You come to win these conference tournaments. I mean, you come to win these conference championships, and you come to shut up a lot of people like me. Like, this is the time where you can shut up a lot of your haters, a lot of your doubters, to show them that, you know, you're a real team. Still don't know if they're gonna make whatever. I still don't know if they need to make the tournament if they beat Houston, but that's just me.
Hey, we moved to the next 4 out on Lenardi, so that's a positive thing. So we're one of the last 8 out of the tournament. But I think it's going to be crazy just over this next weekend with games and then getting into conference tournaments. It's always crazy. People stealing bids,
right?
So it's March. It's March.
Be on the lookout for bid stealers, and I don't know what conference they'll come from. It's going to be crazy with I mean, there's some small conferences are playing their conference tournament now.
Yeah,
I mean, we are like, this was the point in time last year when the news and stuff kind of started hitting, and you didn't know. And 6 days from now, the Big East pulling players off the court. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
From the first round of their tournament. So.
Yeah, and if you need to get tuned up for the tournament, I do suggest you go check out Theater and College Hoops. It's a podcast over on the Barn Burner Podcast Network, and tonight they're actually interviewing your boy Derek Byers.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so they've been doing some SEC alumni. They had Chris Lofton a couple of weeks ago, so check that out. Theater and College Hoops.
DB Vanderbilt legend, good dude down in Miami doing some training. I wonder what it's like to walk to somebody's apartment like, hey, you want to train your kid? I'm an former NBA player.
right.
Former SEC player of the year.
Yeah.
I think I know what I'm doing.
I saw that Adrian Henning posted a video of DB throwing a lob off the backboard to him, and Henning went and jammed it. And that's nasty. They had a nice run there. I know y'all were bitter rivals, but they had a good run there for a while.
Yeah, if there's only Ridgeway only did two good things, and that was have fine girls, and their basketball team was okay a little bit. That's about it.
Is it because they were in AA? Is that why you don't give them the respect they deserve?
No. I don't know why. It's just one of those things.
Just personal.
It's personal. You know what I'm saying? It's just deep-seated hatred.
Were those AA Ridgeway teams in the early 2000s? Were they good enough to win AAA state titles?
Oh, definitely.
Okay, that's what I figured.
If you put that Derek Byers and Adrian team that won their sophomore year, if you put that team in AAA, they probably win. They compete for sure for a state championship. I can't say they win because they wouldn't. I don't know if they would have beat us with Ernest and all of them, but they would have competed very well. And in the same year that they won, when Derek then won his senior year, which was my freshman year, that team, we beat them by 51-50 when we played them. So they could definitely compete. They could definitely compete.
That's what I figured. Well, we'll be back Thursday after the Grizzlies play the Bucks to wrap up the first half of the regular season, and then back again on Sunday. I guess Sunday we brunching it. It's an early game. It's like 1 o'clock.
Is it a 1 o'clock game?
It's 11 your time. So I guess we'll be on 1:30, something like that.
Let's hold on. Let's see. Let's check it on out. It's
the CBS game.
Yep. Yeah, we can do something early. We don't need to keep the audience waiting for our takes on that night. So we can do that right after. I have me a mimosa in my hand and some make me some French toast and some bacons and have a good old breakfast going. But yeah, man. So Mace, where can the people find you?
Can find me on Twitter at BarnburnerSlim. You can find the show on YouTube, Diamond in the Bluff Media. Where else can they find us, Jay?
Find us on Spotify now. We are on Spotify. Just type in All Memphis Postgame Show or just All Memphis. I'm pretty sure to pop up after that. So yeah, you can find not all of the shows. I didn't put all the old ones up there. So I'm starting with the one last time and starting with this one. You will have all the shows on Spotify, Apple Podcasts coming soon. Yeah. So there. Find me on Instagram at nerdy at @the_kickback_podcast, at Twitter at nerdy McFly. So yeah, man, we appreciate you guys listening. Gave you 54 minutes tonight. Now I'm about to go to sleep. And it's 11:15 here. So yeah, with that being said, that is Mace. I'm Jamal, and we are out.